Bring it in. I got a good one today. Got a real good one today. So I want to know what y'all think about this one right here. Like, for real, for real. Let's see what y'all think about this one. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, the United States have a, well, what I mean by the United States, I mean the United States government have a curveball thrown at them that the United Nations get with other superpower countries, and the powers to be with those countries, they all agree to form a wealth gap move with the descendants of slavery and all form reparations and distribute those funds to the descendants of slavery in the United States, as well as the Caribbean islands, as well as South America, Central America, and Canada. That would realign the form of generational wealth passed on to the descendants of that horrific time period for the Black race here in America and the Americas. We'll just say it like that, because it's not just all about the United States when it comes to reparations and slavery, because the countries that participated in it and benefited from it really was able to join in and collectively benefit from it over generations. Now, we could all sit and say that the United States by itself can't afford the trillions of dollars that's calculated to be reparations, but collectively, China, North Korea, Russia, the many countries in Africa, all the countries besides the United States put in, and I guarantee you the United States will put a blockade on that. They'll put a stoppage to that. Just imagine how that would really align the rural that we live in a more fair way. Imagine if that could actually happen. The United States government will oppose to it just for the simple fact they've been opposing to it all these years. And their biggest reason is the affordability of it as a country. It's really out of range for the United States to actually afford it right now, in my opinion, because you're talking about trillions of dollars and the deficit is looking like crazy. That 300 billion that was sent to Israel over the course of 75 to 80 years is a drop in the pan of the 12 to 17 trillion that's estimated that'll be rewarded if it were to happen. The descendants of slavery were to be awarded reparations. And it was to come in the form of the United Nations doing it and not the United States. In my opinion, that's something that should have happened a long time ago anyway. When the United States try to be bullies of different countries and they try to be humanitarians to some of the other countries, it's like a oxymoron if they able to pay, and I'm talking about the United States. The United States is able to pay all these other countries money in the form of aid, and Israel is being paid reparations. But the descendants of slavery, and I'm talking about all the descendants from the United States, no, I'm gonna say from Canada all the way down to South America and everything in between. There are, and it's as well as the Caribbean islands, all of the Caribbean islands, not just the United States. I believe that the United Nations can form that and make that happen, but that has to be spearheaded by the African nations. The United States would not participate in this. A couple of countries won't participate, but I honestly believe that with it being spearheaded by the African nations, we could be able to put uh we could close that generate that gap, that economic gap, and then we could start having generational wealth passed on because collectively and individually you have statistically more people that's doing generational wealth and passing down things to their offsprings and being able to do better statistically, but collectively it's not even close. It's not even it's not even close. So I came up with this idea that let's say the United Nations make it happen and the United States block it. That would be crazy. And then it won't be no separation throughout the whole black dia- diaspora. It wouldn't be no conflict if the United Nations get involved with reparations for slavery victims from Canada all the way to South America and everything in between, as well as the Caribbean islands. That would be amazing. That would be something that the history books will get right. That's something that you will want to be on the positive side of that history instead of the people that oppose it. And then it actually happened and it actually work and make a difference. The United States could be lower on crime, lower with childbirth rate, lower with poverty on a global scale. We got, just like Tupac said, we got money for war, but we can't feed the poor. We got money, we got money for all these other countries, but we don't have the money to pay back the wrongs that was done from the original sin of the United States. Yeah, we could go deep in this, but I'm gonna stand on the surface of just the possibility of it happening because all the United States enemies don't have a quarrel with the Black Americans. Maybe the individuals who are in the military, who are in the higher ranking, who make those real decisions, and but with this administration, you won't find nobody Black that's in the higher up of the military that's really making decisions. So you could come up with a great plan if the United Nations is able to pick up on what should be done. That's all I got for today. And it's the first of my lives with just focus. That's it. Hey, y'all have a good one, man. Y'all stay blessed. Much love.